A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are standing alone in a mountain village somewhere in the puppet country of Andorra, the high crags of the Pyrenees trapping the last of the daylight. And you know that in one of the stone houses facing you, behind one of the doors that is closed against you, is a beautiful woman whom you must find before she meets her death.
Listen now as Escape brings you Kathleen Height's story, The Dark Wall.
Quiet of the night settled over us. I could hear only the silky ripple of the river Segre nearby, and a thin whisper of wind in the high pines above us. The strange silence of the day was over. Joyce was sleeping quietly now, a few feet away. I sank into my sleeping bag and prayed that things would go better tomorrow. Something roused me. Some sound. In a glance, I saw the gray of the pre-dawn, and then I saw Joyce. Poised at the side of my sleeping bag, wild terror in her eyes, and in her upraised hand, a heavy tire iron. Joyce!
Don't stop, Alan, don't!
Joyce, for heaven's sake, give that to me!
No,
Give it to me, let go! Let go, drop it, let it go!
I won't stop it!
Let it go! Joyce!
Oh, you were supposed to wake up. Why? Why did you have to wake up? Oh, Alan, I'm so afraid.
No, you're all right, Joyce. Joyce, don't be afraid. No.
Oh, Alan, what's wrong? What's wrong?
There's nothing to be afraid of.
It's so awful to be so frightened.
Well, what frightens you? Can't you tell me?
I was going to kill you.
What?
I wanted to kill you.
Joyce, are you afraid of me?
Oh, it isn't you. I love you.
And I love you, darling.
Oh, I know you do. Alan, please, can't we go now? Can't we get away from here?
I knew now that Joyce needed care, quickly. Her sickness, whatever it was, had been a growing thing. As we drove through the narrow, winding roads of the Pyrenees toward the tiny state of Andorra, I tried to forget what had happened. Tried to ignore the mounting wall of silence between us. Something in that silence told me that Joyce's fears were greater than mine.
Why are you stopping here?
The road forks up there just ahead. I want to look at the maps. I'm not sure which way we're supposed to turn.
Aren't there any towns?
Well,
Are we ever going to see people and buildings again?
You can't be too far from Andorra la Vieja, but I doubt if this road we're on is even on the map.
Then let's go back, Alan.
Let's see now.
If we don't know what's ahead, let's go back to Lerida or Barcelona. Anywhere but here.
It's a long way back, Joyce.
I don't care. This place, all tanglewood and pines, the narrow paths that twist and wander.
We're not lost, darling.
Then where are we? I don't like it, Alan. It's just a wild, lonely place. And it frightens me, and I beg you to take me out of here.
All right, darling. Don't worry.
I know what's behind me. Ahead, it's all unknown. I'm afraid of what's ahead.
No, you mustn't be afraid, Joyce. I won't let anything happen. on steadily higher and higher through the wooded Pyrenees. We met no one and saw no one. Andorra is a small state, only 192 square miles in all, but that morning it was an endless, stretching, climbing no man's land, a lonely place with no name and no face. Then finally we came upon it, not a town, really, a village with one great house and a few smaller ones. Perched there on the rocky ledge, it looked like the last stop before oblivion.
It's so quiet. I wonder where the people are.
I wonder if there are people. It's not a town at all. Perhaps we should have turned back when you said to.
Look.
Huh?
Look at the window.
Where?
I know I saw a face in the window.
Oh?
There's someone here, Alan. Someone.
No, you don't want to stay here, darling. Even if we find someone, this isn't the place for us now.
Look, you see? The door, it's opening. Alan, someone is here.
But, Joyce, this isn't the...
You have lost your way?
We were told there was a town here.
There is.
Well, is this all there is to it?
We do not require more.
Please. I'm tired. I need rest. Can't we stay here?
Is there a hotel? Any place where we can get a room?
There is what your eyes tell you there is, and no more.
Is there a larger town anywhere near here?
You are in Andorra. Nothing is far away. Nothing is easily reached.
What's the matter with you people? But you always talking riddles? Can't you answer questions? Can't you...
Please. We must stay here somehow. Just a while. I need to stop a while.
She is your wife?
Yes.
There is no hotel.
I see there isn't.
This house has many rooms, but we are a large family.
Please. Please, understand me. I've got to stay here. I can't wind around any more narrow trails. I've got to stop and rest. Can't you understand? Can I make either of you understand?
Darling, it's all right. We'll find a room. You'll rest. Now, you mustn't worry, Joyce.
I must sleep. I must. No matter what happens, I must sleep.
Can't you do something?
Lady, you come. Woman!
Almost as soon as he called, a squat little woman appeared in the doorway. They exchanged only a look, and then she came and led Joyce into the house. At first, I thought the man meant for me to stay outside. He moved as if to stop me from following. Then he stepped back, and I walked into the house. Joyce was stretched out on the bed when I got there. The bed was the only piece of furniture in the room.
It's nice, isn't it, Alan?
Well, it's a room, a bed. I wish it were more.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Yes, darling. Now you go to sleep. When you wake up, as soon as you feel like it, I'll take you to Andorra la Vieja.
Yes, Alan. When I wake up.
Sleep well, darling.
She sleeps?
Oh, she's very tired.
The woman says she trembled. The woman says she is full of fear.
I don't suppose there's a doctor anywhere around here.
We have no need for doctors.
My wife is ill. We have need for a doctor.
You will not find one here.
I know.
Hey, get away from that car. Now, go on now. I said,
Get away from it! Get away from it!
You are the intruder, not they.
Oh, they can leave the car alone.
They have.
Who are they?
My sons, my brothers, their sons. We are the family here. We are called Valera. We tend sheep and our own affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm worried about my wife. I didn't mean to shout at them.
Most of the time our mountains protect us. We do not like intruders. It is not so bad in winter. The snows fall deep into the passes, seal them, and keep the intruders out.
We are not intruders. We don't want to be here. We don't mean to be here. And I promise you we won't be here long.
Sometimes the intruders come to hide in our mountains, to be lost from the world. Always the intruders are troubled people, full of fears and discontent. The worst of the world, they find their way to Andorra.
I walked away from him, along the crude cobble of the village path, away from the great house and the smaller ones. And everywhere, the sons, the brothers and their sons of Valera watched me with silent distrust. I walked to the rocky pinnacle that was the edge of the village, and beyond, as far as I could see, the awesome Pyrenees reached higher and higher, like a great wall closing out the rest of the world. I went back to the house where Joyce slept.
The woman is with her. She called out, and the woman went into her.
I shouldn't have left her alone. I must...
Wait.
What?
The woman has brought her quiet. That is enough.
I wouldn't try to keep me out here if I would... How is she, woman?
She is quiet now. The woman would not leave her so if she were not
quiet. Oh, Joyce, darling.
They said you'd gone.
No. Only for a little while. Only while you slept.
Don't come any closer.
Oh, Joyce. What is it?
Please. Leave me alone. I want you to leave me alone.
Oh, we're going to get out of this place, darling. Together.
No, I won't go. I won't.
We'll find the right road. It can't be far. And I promise you, darling, everything will be all right. We won't come here again. Ever.
Why don't you listen? Huh? I talk to you and you don't listen. I'm not going with you. You can't make me go with you. No.
Joyce, wait.
Don't let it take me away. No, please don't let it take me away.
Joyce was clinging to the woman. Valera stepped in front of him as I came back to the front room, and beside him, from every corner of the room, the rest of the Valera men began to form a wall between Joyce and me. A wall of men, silent men, with staring distrust in their eyes. What are you trying to do? Oh, can't you see she's sick? I've got to get her out of here. Don't you know that? I'm taking her with me. And the whole lot of you can't stop me.
You are listening to The Dark Wall, tonight's presentation of Escape. One advantage in having several radios about the house is that they make it possible for housewives to listen while they work. A kitchen set, another in the living room, perhaps a third in the bedroom. Keep them all tuned into CBS Radio for our great roster of daytime dramatic stories. And now Escape and the second act of The Dark Wall.
I roused from a sleep that was tortured and full of pain. A bright afternoon sun shone in a haze about me, and when my vision cut through it, I saw nothing my eyes had seen before. I was in my own car, pulled to one side of a road that was wider than any I'd seen for days. And not far in the distance, I could hear the approach of other cars, but none were yet in my view. I got out, stood in the roadway. For all the stiff pain of me, it felt good to be a part of the world again. But then I remembered Joyce and the wall of Valera men, and I was lost and lonely and sick.
Hey, you should not walk in the middle of the road.
No, I shouldn't, only...
You are hurt? An accident?
No, I'm all right. I just don't know where I am. What road is this?
Oh, you're in Andorra. You know that?
I know that.
Then, straight ahead on this road, the direction your car is pointing. No more than 4 kilometers lies the capital, Andorra la Vieja.
Straight ahead, Andorra la Vieja.
I promise, I have just come through there myself. You are sure you are right? Not her?
No, I'm much better now. Do you know this country well?
Oh, well enough to drive through it quickly. My home is in Spain.
You wouldn't know a village. Near here, maybe a small village where everyone is called Valera?
No, I would not know it. There are many such villages in Andorra, if you can find them.
I must find it.
Perhaps in Andorra la Vieja?
Perhaps. My hopes were high for Andorra la Vieja. There would be answers for all my questions. There would be concern and help and interest. I told myself these things to keep my mind from filling itself with Joyce, to keep the pain quiet. Some corner of my mind held the memory of all that had happened in the house of Valera. I could not be sure I wanted to remember.
I do not see why you have come here, to me.
I didn't know any place else to go. I need so much help, I thought surely the police could do something.
There has been a crime?
No, my wife is ill. Very ill. She's with strange people in a strange village. I've got to find help for her and go back there.
Then why do you not do this? Why do you bother me?
I told you... Will you try to understand me? I don't know where the village is. I don't think it's far away, but I don't know where it is.
It has a name, the village?
I don't know that. The people there are called Valera.
There is a river called Valera.
No, I saw no river. No, not there. It was high, on a rocky crest of a mountain, just a few houses. You must know where it is.
You were there?
Yes, this morning.
Then you must know where it is.
No, I don't. I don't have any idea where it is.
But you were there this morning. And now you are here.
Look, I don't know how I got there. Can I make you understand that?
I think none of this is important.
Well, it's all important to me. My wife is ill. She needs care.
You tell me that. Perhaps then you would tell me why you left her in a strange village you do not know, with strange people you do not know.
I didn't leave her.
But she is there, and you are here.
Oh, you won't even try to help me.
Help you? Help you what? Find a town where you have been, and I have never been?
All right. All right. I can't talk anymore.
There is a hotel across the plaza. You will find other intruders there. Among them, a doctor.
I wasn't sure I'd heard him clearly, but there were no questions left in me. I stumbled out into the glaring sunlight again, steadied myself against a pillar, and when I could make out the hotel across the plaza, I walked there. Held together, I know, by the thin strand of hope that I would find the doctor and there would be help for Joyce.
Here, drink it, Don.
Oh, hey, whiskey?
It's good whiskey. You need it.
Oh, good. It helps. You do understand, Doctor, I have not come about me.
Your wife, I know, I understand that.
Oh, I'm glad someone does. You think the priest can help us? You think he'll be able to find the village?
Well, the padre will direct us there if anyone can. Meanwhile, there's time. Now, tell me about your wife as much as you can, as much as you know of her illness.
Well, I've called it illness. I suppose it's that. Fear. Unreasonable fear is an illness, isn't it?
Oh, indeed it is, yes. Has she known these fears long?
I don't know. We've been married less than a month. I knew her only a short time before that. No, it was all pretty sudden. She was alone, I was alone, and then we were together.
Did you, happy together?
Oh, yes. Very happy. Very much in love.
Until this strangeness came over her.
Yes, that's right. May I?
Oh, please do. Help yourself.
Thank you.
How was it you described the difference in her, the difference in your relationship?
Like a wall, a mounting wall of silence.
Uh-huh. And in this silent time of hers, she is much different? Not at all like the girl you married?
She doesn't even look like herself. Her lovely, gentle face contorts into a wild thing, like she was an animal. Oh, it's ugly, Doctor, and so real. I couldn't imagine that, could I?
No, I don't believe you could. She was like that early this morning when she tried to kill you.
She kept saying that she had to kill me, that she wanted to kill me. And all the while she was so frightened. So very frightened.
But do you know what frightened her? Do you know any reason why she should want to kill you?
Well, I thought she must be afraid of me. She'd have no reason to be, but I thought that must be it. I asked her, and she said, "It isn't you. I love you." Oh, the poor darling.
And she said that after she tried to kill you?
Almost immediately afterward. It's a complete contradiction, I know, but that's the way it is. As if Joyce were two persons. Two directly opposite persons.
That may be precisely the case, you know.
I don't understand.
Two persons. One almost entirely good, gentle, kind. The other almost entirely evil, terrifying, menacing, fiendish at times. Two persons occupying one body. That's schizophrenia.
Oh, no. No, not Joyce, Doctor.
Oh, I'd have to be sure, of course, but from what you said... But still, I'd have to see her, talk with her, or there are many steps to take. No, the important thing now is to see her as soon as possible.
Schizophrenia, that's hopeless, isn't it? I mean, there's no cure, is there?
Well, it depends largely, I should say, on how long these two personalities within her have been warring one with another, the good and the evil, and the moral and the immoral. If the cleavage is minor at this point, if the breach between her two selves, as it were, is not yet great, then there is a measure of hope.
But she couldn't go on this way indefinitely, being two people. Mustn't one of herselves, as you say, win this war?
If it progresses unchecked, well, then, yes, oneself will emerge triumphant. It is a poor war word here, for in such an instance the evil almost inevitably triumphs over the good.
Can we go to her now?
Yes, I'm sure the party will have our directions.
The priest's directions were perfect. As I'd assumed, the village was not far away, but the drive was an eternity for me. The strain of the last days was beginning to tell. I was wound tight and knotted by all that had happened and torn deep by all the doctor had said. I stopped outside the great house of Valera. The doctor touched my arm.
Perhaps it's best that I see her alone, at first.
Oh, but I've got to see her.
Oh, I know, and you will, but you don't know what happened here before you left. The last you remember, she was terrified of you. I'll send for you soon, I promise.
Tell her I love her. Will you?
Oh, indeed I will. Oh, there's one thing I neglected to tell you, one important facet of this.
Yeah?
If we find what we fear most, you must take this comfort to your heart. A girl you love, who loves you, has no knowledge whatsoever of her other self.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, you ponder that. I shan't be long.
I watched the house door close behind him. And there in the high quiet alone, I took the comfort he offered me. The choice I loved me. That was all there was, really. All in the world I needed to know.
You will not go in there. The woman, the doctor, they have brought her quiet again.
I am going in. I will kill any or all of you who stand in the way. Move. Move! There. Anyone else want his head bashed in? Good. We'll make a real mess of things, won't we? Come on. I like to crack skulls. What's the matter? Come on. Keep me from that door. Make one little move and I'll tear you loose. Men of honor, I see.
Don't let him try to kill me again.
Look at that! Look at all of your crawling, shrinking cowards. What are you, gentlemen? You make me sick, all of you. I killed him, you know. He was a gentleman. Dear, gentle Alan. He won't be with us anymore.
Oh, please. Please, somebody do something.
Easy now. Somebody will.
Come on.
No. Alan.
I'll tell you, Joyce, what I told him. And you must take this comfort to your heart. Alan, the man you loved you very much. He didn't know this other self ever existed.
There were faces all around me. A wall of faces. Senseless, staring faces. And beyond them, a strange girl wept softly. All strangers staring at me. And I stared back at the wall.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you The Dark Wall by Kathleen Hite, starring John Daner with Joyce McCluskey. Featured in the cast were Ben Wright, Edgar Berrier, Nestor Paiva, and Fritz Feld. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are in a farmhouse on the southern coast of England. The autumn countryside around you desolate and bleak. And you know that in the dusk outside, waiting patiently for you, silently watching for you, is an enemy from whom there may be no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Daphne du Maurier's story, The Birds. A reminder for drama and adventure fans, two of CBS Radio's best-known thrillers, Gangbusters and Gunsmoke, both heard Saturday nights, will be moving to Monday evenings on most of these same stations after this Saturday's performances. Follow the latest crime clues and true crime-smashing drama on Gangbusters this Saturday night, and don't miss U.S. Marshal Matt Dillon's latest Western adventure on Gunsmoke the same evening. Then, after this Saturday, remember to listen for them both on their new night starting next Monday, July 5th. Listen while you work. Enjoy Our Gal Sunday, Monday through Friday on the CBS Radio Network.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
In a farmhouse on the southern coast of England, the autumn countryside around you desolate and bleak. And you know that in the dusk outside, waiting patiently for you, silently watching for you, is an enemy from whom there may be no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Daphne du Maurier's story, The Bird.
On December the 3rd, the wind changed overnight, and it was winter. Until then, the autumn had been mellow, soft. The earth was rich where the plow had turned it. I didn't do the plowing, no. My wartime disability had seen to that. They gave me mostly the lighter repair jobs to do in the 3 days a week that I worked at the farm. Deborah and I had taken a cottage up here to try again, for the sake of the children. And it seemed to be working fairly well. I enjoyed my work on the farm. It was pleasant to pause at midday to eat the lunch that Debbie prepared and brought for me. We'd sit there on the cliff while I ate, and we'd watch the birds.
So many of them, Max.
Yes. Oh, the autumn's better than spring for watching them.
Oh, why?
Oh, well, in the spring they're content, they're full of purpose, they know where they're going, there's no delay. But then in autumn it's different. The birds that don't migrate seem to follow a pattern of their own.
Pattern?
Great flocks of them here on the peninsula. Restless, uneasy, wheeling, circling, coming to rest and flying again. The land birds and the gulls down there in the bay. Strange sort of rhythm in their movements.
They don't really go anywhere. Doesn't seem to be any purpose to it.
No. Well, if there is, we don't see it. Restlessness. They're more restless this year than usual, seems to me. Do you know, this morning 2 gulls flew so close they knocked off my cap?
You said yesterday when the school bus let her off, there was quite a few of them overhead as if they'd been followed.
Oh, well, I suppose it means a hard winter. They always seem to know. Perhaps a message comes to them in autumn. A warning.
About winter.
And about death.
Not.
Many of them will die, and I think they know it. Perhaps they feel they have to spill their motion out before they die. Like people who know their time is up and run about stupidly driving themselves.
You wouldn't talk like that, Nat. That black side of you that stirred up the trouble between us before.
Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. But it's come over me lately as I've watched them. The land birds mingling with the sea birds in a sort of strange, unnatural partnership. Land and sea. And life and death. At night it turned colder, yet the wind strengthened. Around 2 in the morning, the sound of it beating against the house woke me up. I lay there with this slow, even breathing of Debbie beside me, and I thought of Jill and Johnny in the room across the hall. We seemed safe, secure. And then I heard it. A tapping on the window. First I thought it was a loose shutter, and then I realized it wasn't. I got out of bed, went to the window, opened it. Suddenly something brushed against my hand. It jabbed at my knuckles and then was gone over the roof and behind the cottage.
Yes. What's it?
It's all right, Debbie. It was a bird. I don't know what kind.
Bird?
Wind must have driven it against the window, so my hand's wet. It's blood. A Degatron blood.
That's cute, Nat.
Must have been frightened and stabbed at me in the dark. Well, but
Nat, the window's secret. It's rattling.
I've already seen it. There's some bird trying to get in.
Send them away. I can't sleep with that noise.
All right. All right. Oh, up with you. Why, you little... Stay away from my face. Out! Get away!
Never in the world.
Did you see that? There were half a dozen this time. They went for me. They tried to peck my eyes.
Oh, yes.
I'm not making it up, Dick.
What? It's Jill. Go see what's the matter.
Right. Coming, Jill. Where's Johnny?
Under the blanket. What's the matter?
Quick, get the children out of here.
Bird. The room's full of birds. And my bed.
Get the children out of here and shut the door. Quick. I pushed them out of the room, and now I was alone with the birds. I seized a blanket, and I used it as a weapon, sweeping it right and left. And I could hear the thud of bodies, but they kept coming at me. They were jabbing my hands, my head, trying for my eyes with beaks as sharp as pointed forks. And I wrapped the blanket around my head, beat about with my bare hands, blindly. I don't know how long I fought them. Finally, the beating of wings lessened, and then... But still, I unwrapped the blanket from my face. The cold gray dawn had seeped into the room. The floor was littered with the tiny corpses of the birds. Robins, finches, sparrows, larks. Some had lost feathers in the fight. The others had blood, my blood, on their beaks. Sickened, I went to the window. The fierce sea broke harshly on the bay. But there was not a bird in sight. Not a sparrow chattered in the hedge, no early thrush or blackbird pecked on the grass for worms. There was no sound at all but the east wind and the sea.
Ned?
I'm all right, Debbie.
Oh, I didn't know. What's covered with blood?
Some of it's the birds. Look on the floor.
Oh. So many of them.
Yeah, 50. I counted them.
It's horrible.
Come on, darling. I'll clean the room later when I have more stomach for it.
This must have been gas before.
Are the children all right?
Yes, I put Jill to work making tea. Johnny's in our bed just now asleep. Not why.
The birds? Well, it must be the weather. The sudden change confused them. It has to be that.
The tea's ready, Mommy.
Oh, good.
Did you drive away the birds?
Yes, they're all gone now, Jill.
I hope they won't come again. Perhaps if we put breadcrumbs for them outside the window, they'll eat that and fly away.
Yes, dear.
I've already had breakfast. I'd better hurry or I'll be late for the school bus.
But, I'll walk with you to the road, Jill.
Yes, I think that'd be a good idea.
I'll go get my coat and book.
I didn't want her to walk alone.
Matt, they wouldn't come back again.
I'll go over to the farm and find out if they heard anything during the night. You keep all the windows and doors closed, Debbie, just to be on the safe side, Hello? Anyone about?
Mr. Hawkins.
Was the mystery around, Mrs. Trigg?
Summer's about, but can you tell me where this coal is coming from? Russia? I've never seen such a change, and it's going on, the wireless says. Something to do with the Arctic Circle.
We didn't turn on the wireless this morning. Fact is, we had trouble in the night.
Oh, Kitty's poorly.
No, not exactly, no. We had some trouble with birds. Why, it sounds absurd, but they flew in the window and attacked us.
Attacked you? No, Mr. Hawkins.
No, I'm not making it up, Mrs. Trigg. There are 50 dead birds on the floor of the children's bedroom.
Foreign birds.
No, the kind you see about here every day.
Really? Well, you ought to write up and ask the Manchester Guardian. They have an officer on it.
Morning, Hawkins. Mr. Trigg.
Mr. Hawkins been telling about some birds last night.
Oh.
He says they attacked him.
Attack? Are you sure?
Quite.
Never heard of a thing like that before. Hungry, maybe. Looking for food. You put out some crumbs.
Yes, of course. I'll be up tomorrow as usual. Good morning.
Ordinary birds, he says.
Attacked him. Now, what did he take us for, coming around with a story like that? He's a strange one, he is, with those superior airs. You see the look he gave us when we didn't swallow his story? Attacked him. I think he reads too many of those books.
Nat. Did you find out anything at the farm?
No. The Trig's brilliant advice is to put out some crumbs. Debbie, I looked all around this morning. There's not a single bird in sight outdoors.
Where've they gone?
I don't know.
The Triggs had no trouble last night.
Not only that, they clearly thought I was imagining it. Oh, I heard Trigg mutter something about my superior airs and reading too many books as I walked away. Nothing's real to those clods until it hits them over the head.
Well, they're nice enough people, Nat. Just that they're isolated up here.
Well, that certainly is a polite word for it.
I haven't been able to face going into the children's room. The birds...
Oh, yes, I'll go and clean it up. I suppose the least I can do is give the little beggars a decent burial. I dropped the dead birds into a sack, went down to the beach to bury them. The wind was bitter cold. I dug a pit in the sand with my heel and started to empty the sack into it, but the wind caught the birds and whirled them along the shore. There was something ugly in the sight, but the tide would take them when it turned. I looked out at the crested breakers, and then I saw them. The gulls, out there riding the seas. Thousands, tens of thousands. They rose and fell in the trough of the sea like a mighty fleet at anchor, waiting for the turn of the tide. Waiting. They stretched as far as my eye could reach. They covered the sea. I started up the steep path home, almost running. Someone should know of this. Someone should be told. But who? And then as I opened the front door, I saw Debbie beside the wireless listening.
Damage and even attacking individuals. It is thought that the Arctic airstream is causing the birds to migrate south in immense numbers, and that intense hunger may drive them to attack human beings. Householders are warned to see to their windows, doors, and chimneys, and to take all precautions for the safety of their children. Further bulletins will be issued later.
They've been repeating it every few minutes since you left.
Well, perhaps now those empty-headed idiots at the farm will know that I was...
You sound almost scared.
Oh, don't talk rot, Debbie. It's just that when people with half a brain try to tell me that
Can't you forget that superior attitude of yours even now?
Don't use that word superior to me. I'm sick of it.
So am I, Nat. So am I. You... Oh, I'm sorry, dear. This thing has made me a little nervy, I guess.
Yes, I'm sorry too, Marty.
Nat, one of the bulletins said the birds seem to be waiting. For what?
I don't know. They said the birds are hungry.
What are you doing?
Yeah, the hammer. I'm going to get some boards and see to the doors and windows as they tell you to.
You think they could break in with the windows shut? Those sparrows and robins and such? How could they?
I wasn't thinking about the smaller birds. I was thinking about the gulls.
The gulls?
Debbie, have you ever been close enough to get a good look at a gull's beak? There must be 100,000 of them out there, riding the sea, waiting. The rest of the morning I worked upstairs, boarding the bedroom windows. And I wondered whether they'd take these precautions up at the farm. I doubted it. It's probably a joke to the Triggs. But according to the wireless, it was no joke. At first, some of the bulletins had been light in tone, but as the morning wore on, the concern in the announcer's voice became more and more apparent. Well, after I finished upstairs, I took the rest of the lumber down, boarded up the lower floor windows.
What they ought to do is call the army out and shoot the birds. That would soon scare them off.
Debbie, how are we off for food?
Now, Nat, whatever next.
Now, never mind. What have you got in the larder?
Shopping in it tomorrow, you know that. I don't keep uncooked food hanging about. It goes off. But I can put some things in tomorrow.
Tomorrow? It's only 3 in the afternoon, and it's almost dark.
What? Oh, yes. The sky looks so heavy. Nat, what's the matter? You've gone quite white.
Look. The tide's turned. The gulls.
They've risen.
Circling over the sea. Not a sound from them.
Nat.
I'm going for Jill. I'll wait for her at the bus stop. You keep Johnny inside and keep the door shut. Outside, I looked for a weapon, but a hoe was all I could find. Then I went to the top of the hill and waited. The surf was booming below, and a smudge rose behind the clay hills in the distance. It widened, divided, and spread north, east, south, west. It was a vast cloud of birds. It passed close by, heading inland, up country. They had no business with the people here on the peninsula. Rooks, crows, jackdaws, magpies, birds that usually preyed upon the smaller species. But this afternoon they were bound on some other mission. They've been given the towns, I thought. They know what they have to do. We don't matter so much here. The gulls will serve for us. The others go to the towns. And finally the bus came. When Jill got out, I took her by the hand.
Daddy.
Oh, I just brought it along. Come along now, darling. Let's go home. It's cold. No hanging about.
I want to play a bit in the rain.
Not tonight. Now, come on. No dawdling.
Look, Daddy. Look over there. Look at the gulls. They're flying in from the sea. It's so quiet.
Yes. Do hurry, darling.
Where are they flying to?
Oh, up country, I dare say, where it's warmer.
But don't go so fast. I can't keep up.
Hurry.
The gulls, they're circling. It looks like they're waiting for something.
Yes, a signal, an order.
What?
Nothing. Come on, dear, faster.
But I can't go faster.
Wait. There's Trigg in his two-seater.
Well, it looks as though we're in for some fun, Hawkins. Have you heard the news? Everyone's gone bird crazy, talking of nothing else. I'm going to take a crack at them with my gun.
Could you run Jill home first?
Oh, yes, of course. Not room for you too, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's all right. Just get Jill home. Get in, Julia.
You like to come shooting with me?
No, thanks. Have you boarded your windows?
No. There's a lot of nonsense. They like to scare you on the wireless.
I'd board them if I were you.
Oh, go on. You're windy. Well, see you in the morning. I'll give you a gull breakfast.
I watched Trigg drive Jill toward the cottage, and then I followed on foot. The sound made me look up. The gulls were approaching. The order had been given, and the farm was their target. The black-backed gulls were leading, and there were bigger birds, gannets, terns. And suddenly one of them dove at me, missed, rose to dive again, and then came the others, 6, 7, dozens. I dropped the hoe, covered my head with my arms, and ran toward the cottage. They kept coming at us from the air with beating wings. Each stab of a swooping beak tore my flesh. I had to keep them from my eyes. And with each dive they became bolder, and they had no thought for themselves. When they missed, they crashed, bruised and broken on the ground. And as I ran, I stumbled, kicking their spent bodies in front of me. Another aimed a feather, closer to my eyes, closer. And then I reached the door of the cottage. Let me in! Let me in! And then, above me, I saw the gannet, poised against the sky for his dive. The gulls drew back, only the huge gannet. The wings folded suddenly to its body, and it flapped like a stone at me. The door opened, and I flung myself in.
Lord, what was that?
A gannet. He just split my skull.
Better now?
Yes, thanks. You're quite the wound dresser. Are the children?
In the other room, I didn't want them to see you that way.
No.
Your hands are the worst.
I'll be all right. We'd better all sleep here in the kitchen tonight. I'll bring down the mattresses.
All right. I'll fix something tasty for supper and we can prepare.
Wait.
That sound. What is it?
The birds crowding against the outside of the house. They're trying to find a way in.
Nat.
No, they can't get in. I tell you, they cannot get in. The boards will hold.
For how long? How long?
Here. I'll turn on the wireless. drown them out. Yes, better?
Yes. Anything so I can't hear the whole of it.
It's only the food that worries me, Debbie. But now I've noticed that the birds come in with the tide, but the tide will go out about 9 tonight, and we should have a lull of about 6 hours. I could slip out during that time and go to the farm, see if they can give us something.
Here's London. A national emergency was proclaimed at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes.
Measures are being taken to safeguard the lives and property of the population, but it must be understood that these are not easy to effect immediately, due to the unforeseen and unparalleled nature of the present crisis. It is absolutely imperative that everyone remain indoors until further notice. The birds, in vast numbers, are attacking everything in sight. The population is asked to remain calm and not to panic. There will be no further transmission from any broadcasting station until 7 a.m. tomorrow.
It's like this all over again. All over.
Debbie? About supper, let's forget it. Let's all just try to get some sleep.
Wake up. Nat, they're back again.
Look, what time is it?
A little after 3.
The tide's come in again.
There's been a queer smell the last 2 minutes. Rather like burned feathers.
What? Burned feathers? The chimney. I forgot to keep the fire up. It's coming down the chimney.
No.
Where's the oil?
On the shelf.
There they are. It's squeezing through the chimney. Stand back. Maybe throw the oil on the coal. There. That'll get them.
Nat, I can't stand it.
Get me paper, wood, anything it'll burn. Hurry. Their charred bodies kept dropping down the chimney. I raked them to one side, but more came. I threw on the rest of the oil. We piled papers on it, kindling, anything. The flames roared higher. More bodies. The stench was unbearable. I kept at it. Finally, they gave up. And I went over to the basin. I was sick. Around 9 in the morning, the rustling ceased. I opened the door a crack. Crushed birds were deep about the house, but there was not a living bird in sight. The tide had gone out. Now was my chance to get food and fuel. I ran all the way to the farm. There was no smoke from the chimney. I came around the corner of the house and stopped in the doorway, almost covered with dead birds for Mr. and Mrs. Trigg. What was left of them. Beside him was his gun. Beside her, a broken umbrella. I loaded the 2-seater with all the food I could find, enough for perhaps 3 days, and drove back to the cottage. I told Debbie the Triggs didn't need their car for a while and had told me to take it. She said nothing. And toward nightfall, the birds came back again. We sat by the fire and listened to the rustle as they crowded against the house. But this time there was a new sound. They brought up their heavier forces against us, the birds with larger beaks. I could hear the sound of tiny bits of wood being thrown away.
They'll stay till the tide turns. Then they leave. Then they'll come back again. They'll keep coming back. Nat.
Yes?
The Triggs. They're dead, aren't they?
Yes.
We're all alone. Strange. I keep closer to you than I've ever.
And it should take something like this to bring it. Debbie, you may be interested to know that right now, I do not feel very superior.
Don't, Nat. Oh, Nat. Nat, what are we
I don't know, Debbie. I do not know. I listened to the sound of the splintering wood, and I wondered how many million years of memory were stored in those little brains behind the stabbing beaks, the piercing eyes, now giving them this instinct to destroy mankind with all the deft precision of machines. The switched on the wireless was dead. I reached for the cigarette. There was only one left in the packet. I lit it. I threw the empty packet on the fire and watched it burn.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you The Birds by Daphne du Maurier, specially adapted for radio by Robert Wright, starring Ben Wright with Virginia Gregg. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Ann Morrison, Ann Whitfield, and John Dodsworth. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are standing in a moonlit clearing somewhere in the Burmese jungle, the ruins of an ancient temple at your back, while gliding silently across the grass towards you, the knife in her hand held pointing at you, is the beautiful yet deadly high priestess of the cult you have profaned, the exotic girl who must now take your life.
Listen now as Escape brings you Kathleen Height's story, Eye of Evil.
I studied Fairchild as he read the letter. He was not a man I would ordinarily turn to for help, but I was not acquainted in Mandalay. Then, too, he knew Campbell. I mean no slur against Fairchild. He was bright enough as government office clerks go. I had simply hoped for more formidable assistance.
This is the last letter you received from Campbell?
The last word of any sort until I cabled him to meet me in Mandalay. He cabled back that he would and named this hotel at noon today.
Well, it's only 2 hours late. 2 hours doesn't mean much in Burma.
I'm not especially concerned about these 2 hours.
The letter, eh? I can't say I blame you. Odd sort of letter. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Nor to me. Nor to anyone at the Historical Society.
I hate to suggest this, but it sounds as if the old boy's cracked a bit, wouldn't you say?
That's more or less what I've been sent to find out.
This part here, he says, I shall fail if where I look my eyes see no beauty. Can't deny it has a certain ring to it.
When was the last time you saw Campbell?
Let me see. It was well before the rain set in. I should say a good 6 or 8 weeks before. That would make it late February or early March.
Campbell's letter was posted here in Mandalay the 14th of May. You're certain you didn't see him around that date?
Positive. Of course, just because it was posted here doesn't mean Campbell himself was in Mandalay.
Oh?
Probably sent it up here from Pugan by Mangba.
Mangba?
Burmese boy, devoted to Campbell. There's been all sorts of help to him with all that probing about he does around Pugan, ruddy ancient shrines and pagodas. The place is crawling with him, you know.
Yes, that's what I understand.
Mungba does a lot of that sort of thing for Campbell. Errands, supplies, comes up the Irrawaddy by boat, you know. There's no train down to Pugan from Mandalay. I don't suppose Campbell relishes the boat trip often.
What was he like the last time you saw him?
seemed normal enough. We lunched here at the hotel just as we're doing.
From what you've said, that's about 4 months or so ago. I guess a lot could happen to a man in 4 months.
It could in Pugan. Nothing but those miserable pagodas and shrines. I don't take much to ruins myself. You've been there, haven't you, Loring?
No. This is my first trip to Burma.
Oh. Well, they might just give you a word about the people, all sorts, of course, but those around Pugan seem to be given to all manner of strange beliefs, superstitions, odd things. Well, the evil eye, for example.
You serious?
Dead serious.
Well, we can't be talking about the same thing. If I remember correctly, the archaic belief in the evil eye is that if one possesses it, anything or anyone he looks upon will die.
Quite right. Only it isn't entirely archaic. It's a widespread belief in India, parts of Egypt, Arabia, and certainly here in Burma.
Oh, that's fantastic.
If I may, Loring, you're apt to find a great many things in Burma fantastic. Not so much in Mandalay, perhaps, or Rangoon, but around Pugan and to the west and north. There's a feeling, a mystic something that's been known to take hold of men.
You're suggesting that Campbell...
I don't know. You'd have to go there to find out.
As Fairchild left me, something drew my attention across the room. She was alone. And quite possibly the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Utterly, strikingly beautiful. And the look in her eyes was a compelling invitation. In no time at all, I accepted.
You were a very long time.
Matter of seconds after I saw you.
But you were a long time seeing me. I have been looking at you for almost an hour.
Well, not like that you haven't. No, I'd have known.
I wonder. Your face, a very nice face, has been clouded with concern. And so would mine have been with your luncheon companion.
It was a bit drab, wasn't it?
I saw no reason for you to spend more time with him. Gina decided you should spend your time with her.
Gina. I like that.
And I like the name Stephen Loring.
How on earth could you know that?
Either I have the gift of clairvoyance, or I paid to look at the hotel register.
Oh, well, in either case, I'm flattered. And because I haven't much time, I agree with Gina. I should spend what time I have with her.
How much time?
Today. Perhaps tonight.
And tomorrow?
No. Tomorrow I'm off to Pugan and feeling a mystic something that's been known to take hold of men.
You joke about Pugan.
Oh, no, not really. I was quoting my drab friend. I've never been to Pugan myself.
I do not think you would like it there.
Oh?
Pugan is very different. I should think you would find Mandalay much more to your taste.
I should think I would, too. And Gina, knowing Mandalay was strange to me, wrote out instructions that would lead me to our rendezvous that night, and then she was gone. I found it difficult to believe our meeting ever occurred, except that the memory of her was vivid and haunting. I lingered over a brandy and was preparing to leave the dining room.
Greetings, Takin. You are, I am certain, one Mr. Loring?
Is everyone in Burma clairvoyant?
No, Takin. I am pleased to be Mungba.
Who?
Mungba.
Oh, Campbell's friend from Pugan. Well, where is he? Isn't he with you?
Regrettably not with Mungba. Esteemed friend remains in Pugan. Ask that you understand and kindly to return to Pugan with Mungba.
Oh? Well, is anything the matter with Campbell?
To say again, esteemed friend remains in Pugan. Ask that you understand and kindly to return to Pugan with Mungba.
No, I understand you all right. I'm inquiring about Campbell. Is he well?
To say again, esteemed friend remains...
No, I understand. I am to come with you to Pugan. Campbell is there.
Good. To leave now is to arrive at Pugan as the sun rises.
No, not good.
Not today. Tomorrow morning, when the sun lives again, we will go.
To say again, to leave now.
No. Never mind that. I said not today. You understand? Tomorrow morning, you and I go to Pugan.
Not good.
Very good. Now here, can you lead me to this address or show me how to get there? See?
To answer, Mungba is able to lead to this address.
Splendid. Then meet me here at the hotel at 7 this evening.
No, thank you, Takin.
Oh, no, now, what's all this about?
To beg pardon, Takin. Though able, Mungba think not wise for one Mr. Loring to present himself at stated address. So, Mungba not lead him there.
And he smiled and bowed and scurried off. It didn't matter. I knew that somehow I would find my way to China that night. When evening came, I left the hotel and began a bewildering tour of the countless bazaars. And by asking a direction here and a question there, I came finally to a dark cluster of buildings in a remote section of the Zegyo Bazaar. And there, at the proper door, I stopped.
You are the most welcome one.
I'm Stephen Loring.
Machina waits for you. Kindly enter.
Thank you. It's a bit dark in here, isn't it?
The lights of 1,000 candles are soon to come, Takin. One moment.
I took a few steps on past the servant, and suddenly I felt a pair of arms around me. I struggled to free myself, and then a blinding pain flashed through me, and I felt myself sinking to the floor. Faintly I heard the voices, and only one did I recognize. That of the little Burmese, Mungba.
Takin. Takin.
China.
To wake from a dream, not always pleasing, Takin.
Mungba. What happened?
Not to remember, often rewarding.
Yeah. Oh, we're on a boat?
Soon to land at Pugan.
Mungba, last night, you followed me. You saved my life.
No trouble to serve friend of esteemed friend.
Yes, Campbell. I wonder how I'll find him.
In time, Takin, all questions are answered.
No, you're wrong. Some questions are never answered, and maybe that's just as well.
Spoken like man of wisdom, enlightenment.
Very little of either this morning, Mungba. It is morning, isn't it?
Sun warm and new. Like Mungba, has much to learn before he dies.
We all do.
To beg pardon, Takin, some more than others. People of village are in their hearts good people, but wisdom to them new, and fear is old.
Yes, so I understand, but what is...
People of village require patience. Leader who shows patience and no fear can bring my people to enlightenment, away from superstitions and ancient religious teachings.
Oh. No, you got the wrong idea. I have not come to lead your people any more than Campbell did. Now, understand, I've come only to get data on the ancient shrines and pagodas nearby and to help your esteemed friend Campbell.
Takin to see many past glories of Pugan, but, beg pardon, villagers of Pugan also there.
The village, when we reached it, was somewhat inland from the river port of Pugan proper. Wood and bamboo huts lined the four sides of a square that served as a compound. A pack of wild dogs swarmed ahead of us, yapping a signal to the groups of villagers bunched together near a central hut. Mungba raised his hand in greeting. After a moment of frozen silence, the villagers turned and ran.
They run from us. Something very wrong.
Not much of a welcome.
Must walk ahead to hut of escaped friend. Must smile, show no fear. Come, Takin.
I fixed the smile on my face that Mang Ba ordered, and I followed him. If I showed no fear, it was not because I felt none. There wasn't a soul in sight, but my back straightened rigid with the feel of 100 eyes upon it. Mang Ba's steps slowed at the sound of the bell, his head cocked slightly to one side as if to listen. We walked on slowly now, until we came to the central hut. There, Mang Ba stopped cold.
No, not so.
What is it? What's wrong?
The evil eye, it has come. The evil eye.
You are listening to Eye of Evil, tonight's presentation of Escape. Each week, CBS Radio issues an invitation to go on the prowl in a real squad car. You'll hear the stories of real witnesses in real cases as you join us on CBS Radio's Night Watch. It's unusual, thoroughly factual, and thoroughly exciting. Night Watch, every week on most of these same stations. And now Escape, and the second act of Eye of Evil.
Disappeared as quickly and completely as the others, fled in terror from a crude sign I could not understand at the door of the central hut. The temple bells tolled ominously as I walked inside, not knowing what to expect. Mang Ba had called this Campbell's hut, but there was no one inside, only the strange signs and symbols affixed to everything in sight. I wanted to run too, desperately, but something told me that if I was safe at all, I was safer inside the hut. As the silent day wore on, I found many of Campbell's papers. Garbled and strange, they were a chronicle of the steady deterioration of a man. When I finally put them down, it was night.
Takin, Mang Ba falls before you.
Are you hurt?
Only with hurt of shame, Takin.
Then get up.
When duly forgiven.
I said get up. And tell me what this madness is all about, these signs. This poppycock about the evil eye.
Mang Ba, upon seeing the signs of evil eye, forgot his enlightenment.
Oh. Did you find out about Campbell?
He is said to be possessed.
And that accounts for these signs?
Signs are charm to evil eye. Take away power. So say my people.
Your people are insane.
Only frightened, Takin.
Look. Can't you talk to them, reason with them, tell them they have nothing to fear, that even if they did these obscene charms of theirs are no answer?
Not Mang Ba. Takin must do.
Me? That's ridiculous.
To say again, Takin must do. The evil eye is on this house. Only Takin can prove this is not so. So say my people.
But how?
Tomorrow, Takin look upon chosen one. If chosen one not die, spell of evil eye broken. If chosen one die, not good.
Oh, the idiotic.
To beg pardon. To do this, only way to save esteemed friend and self.
There was no sleep. The begone night spent itself slowly, weirdly, washed in moonlight and filled with strange sounds. The paddy birds, the barking deer, the cries of wild cattle, and always the eerie toll of the temple bells. I could feel it building in me, a fusion of strangeness, a fear that was somehow compelling. Drawn to an opening at the back of Campbell's hut, I looked out. And there I saw a moonlight fantasy. In a clearing before an ancient pagoda, a single dancer performed. And then, somehow, I was outside the hut, walking slowly across the compound.
No, Takin, no!
Get out of my way.
Hear me, Here, Mumba. You must not answer the call of the temple bells.
Stand aside.
To follow is to die.
I tried to free myself from Mumba's grip. I could not. And if the dancer danced on, and if the bells tolled longer, I don't know. Because suddenly the night was black and silent, and the madness was gone. You know, each night I don't know how I got to bed, yet every morning I find you here.
Takin, sleep well?
Like I was hit on the head. Mungba, was there really a dancer out there last
Mungba,
night?
60, Takin, feel fine.
Was there a dancer?
What has gone before belongs to the night, no longer to us.
I don't understand your bloody country, Mungba, or even you.
I am pleased to be a simple man.
You've saved my life twice now. Why?
Takin, Mungba, friend. Life or friend more precious than own life.
Mungba, what happened to me last night? What happened to Campbell before I got here?
Mungba, not know. 60, Takin, feel fine.
Everything here plays on your feelings. Your emotions, the cries of the animals, the tolling of the bells, the sight of ruin after ruin, pagodas and shrines in crumbling decay. Is that it? Does the very decay here hold the power to degenerate a man? Oh, temple bell again.
Hour has come, Takin.
What hour?
Before bright sun and my people, Takin, look upon chosen one. Only way to save esteemed friend and the self.
Outside, the villagers lined the compound. Some wore coverings over their entire heads. Others, with the same fear that I might possess the evil eye, hid their faces from my view. All of them, so far as I could see, wore signs and symbols as charms against my spell. It was madness. All of it. Madness.
Takin, ready?
Just tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Chosen one will walk to center of tree. Temple bells will stop. That becomes signal for Takin to look for first time upon chosen one.
When the bells stop. Yes, all right. Now let's get on with it.
Kindly turn back, Takin.
All right. I'll have to make quick work of it.
Takin, have nothing to fear.
My heart very nearly stopped with the bells. Slowly, I turned around to look upon the chosen one. He stood proudly straight, smiling comfortably at me. My little Burmese friend, Mungba. And I looked, and smiled, and watched him fall. Mungba! Mungba! Mungba, how in heaven's name?
Not Takin, his dear friend. Campbell,
Campbell? Poor wretched devil. Mungba was dead, and I was alone. I started to lift him to carry him back to the hut, and then I saw the thin arrow in his back, a blowgun. I looked up in the direction the arrow must have come. There it was. The ancient pagoda where the dancer had been the night before. It was also the direction of the temple bells. And this time, without anyone to stop me, I walked into the ruins of the temple. Campbell! Campbell! Where are you? I'll find you. You know, Campbell?
Over here, Loring.
I can't see you. In these shadows.
I'm here in the dark, and you can hear me. If your eyes fail you, follow your ears.
How did you do it, Campbell? He worshipped you. Why did you have to kill Mungba?
Mungba?
Cowering in the darkness won't help you, Campbell. There's a window down there. Why don't you stand proudly in the bright sunlight? It's heated.
Mongbar died proudly. How very gallant.
You're mad. Come here. Here to the light. Now. Stand there until... Campbell.
Are we at the window now, Loring?
Campbell. You're blind.
Do I stand proudly in the bright sunlight?
What happened to you? Who did this to you?
I shall fail if where I look my eyes see no beauty.
Oh, Campbell. We didn't understand in your letter. None of us understood. Tell me, who did that to your eyes?
Where one sees no beauty, no good, one sees evil. And once the eye becomes absorbed with evil, it is said, the eye must no longer see.
Campbell, listen to me. We'll go now, you and I. I'll take you home.
I am home.
No. We'll go to England. Now, together. Do you understand me?
You don't understand me. I want to be here. I must be here.
But why? Why? This place is strange and terrifying.
And beautiful, Loring. But you must go before you see its beauty, before it draws you and holds you and never lets you go.
There's no beauty here.
Have you not seen our beauty, Stephen Loring?
Gina!
Have you not watched the dancer by moonlight and felt compelled to follow her?
Go, Loring, go now. It's not too late for you.
Campbell, did she do this to you?
Go, Loring, while you can.
You were supposed to die in Mandalay, Stephen.
You tried to have me killed.
My people are happy as they are.
Believe me, Loring, and go now. Too late is very soon upon you.
I'll go. I've had my fill of this madness.
Is it madness? Are you sure? You must be very sure. It might be madness. Or again, it might be a feeling, a mystic something that has been known to take hold of men.
I ran, hard and fast, from the ancient pagoda, away from China, away from Campbell. Through the compound I ran, toward Pugan and the river, and freedom. And when the river was in sight, my legs became heavy, leaden. And in my mind, I knew I would run as far into the world as I could. But I also knew that someday I would have to come back.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you Eye of Evil by Kathleen Heights, starring John Daner. Featured in the cast were Lynn Allen and Jack Crucian, with Parley Bear and Ben Wright. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are adrift in a small boat somewhere in the English Channel, the fog lying heavy on the greasy moving waters, while in the dark ahead of you, moving through the war-torn night towards you, is a threat of death from which there may be no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you David Devine's story, Flood on the Goodwin. This coming Monday night on CBS Radio's Gunsmoke, you'll discover, along with United States Marshal Matt Dillon, that the problems facing a U.S. Marshal of the Old West were just as vital and real as those facing law enforcement officers today. Remember, Monday nights on most of these same stations, CBS Radio presents realistic Western thrills on Gunsmoke. This is the CBS Radio Network.
Of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. On the English Channel in wartime, on a harrowing night crossing the gray, cold waters in a small boat. And at the tiller, the threat of instant death is in command, from which there may be no escape. Listen now as Escape brings you David Devine's story, Flood on the Goodwin.
Is that one? Where? About off the starboard. No, it's the mattress. Lost in fog. Couldn't see the living, let alone the dead. I don't think we'll be finding any more bodies. Not the way the stuff's settling down now. Where do you figure the cutter is? She ought to be about a couple of 100 yards to port. Take it easy now, Uncle. Don't want to ram her. Don't you worry about me, Dundas. You start singing out. Ahoy! 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 Of the Mary G. They sound to be dead ahead, man. Better cut it back. I see her. We'll come about her. We're coming around your stern. Get any more? Yes. 3. What's that little thing is? I see them. There, a hand there. 3 more coming aboard. Any alive? No. All down. Come on, mate. Let's get them up there. Don't you bother, Dundas. Hey there. Can you send down a couple of men? Sure. The mate here, he's only got one flipper. Now, look, Mike, that doesn't make any difference. What's the matter? You're proud of it? No, but... Where are the bloaters, mate? A bloater? Oh. They're up forward there. Forward? Right. We'll roll them apart and toss them up. You want the card? Right. Hey, be sure I get my top back. What? Better get you, boy. There's lots of one-armed men working these days. You have to talk about it. Oh, I don't mean no harm. Better than being one of those they're hoisting there. Just don't remind me of my arm, that's all. Bloater, he called them. Man's been floating around dead in the water. He gets bloated, see? Bloater, very pretty.
You know what they call an old man like you?
Never mind, now, never you mind. That's a bunch. How many been brought into you so far?
Counting you all three, that makes 30.
What do we got this fog?
They'll be sitting ducks without it, so stupid, so necessary it might be a boat.
Or U-boat.
U-boat, that's right.
Was it a U-boat sent the tanker down?
No, a man they brought in an hour ago, he said it was a time bomb.
Sabotage?
Yes, went off in the pilot hole. Boom, bubble, 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 bubble.
Oh, dear, that done it. I heard. Oh, my nephew lost his flipper in the RAF. Taking it real hard.
Oh, poor you shouldn't take it hard.
No? Who says I shouldn't?
Hello, cool, Eddie, or I'm just trying to cheer you. You know,
cheer me by getting off this boat so we can shove off.
Cool, Eddie, cool.
Casting off. Going back to Dover. Right well. Fog's in for the night. We'll just make it by jar. Right, Dover. Lay off, Mac. Oh, you didn't mean any of it? I said lay off, Mac, lay off. All right. That's what he said, huh? Can you imagine doing a thing like that? Can you see a man doing it? It's war, you know. War. Fighting is war. They didn't all drown. No, only 29 of them. You say one was alive? Yes. The awful to drown. Awful way to die. Wonder if it'll clear tomorrow. Up ahead. Yeah. Good navigating, Dunder. Ought to be right ahead of it. Mary?
Dunder?
Coming in. Get ahead, Mac. Right. There. Now jump it.
Hello, you two.
Look out, Mary.
Oh, Dunder. How was it, Mac?
Oh. Terrible, dear. Just terrible.
Were there many?
30.
Oh, dear.
That's it. Mac, how's the fuel? Ample. We didn't use a quarter of it.
Are you going to fish tonight?
That's Mac. His boat.
Fishing tonight, Uncle Mac?
In this fog, I should say not.
But Dundas can navigate for you, and the water, they say it's calm as a bathtub.
Well, I don't know.
I brought you food, Dundas.
I don't know. I think that husband of yours needs some sleep. Are you going to start again?
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, all day long he's been complaining like an old woman. Just because he had the bad luck to lose his arm. See what I mean?
Well, you know you are a little rough about it, Uncle Mac.
Well, what ought I do? Help him feel sorry for him? Now cut it, both of you.
There was a man to see you, Uncle Mac.
Oh, who?
Well, he didn't say. He said he'd drop back.
Oh, what did he look like?
Oh, very tall, distinguished looking.
Who's that, Mac? Oh, got me. Tall, you said?
Yes, he's carrying a little briefcase.
Come for the payments on the boat, Mac. No. Would this be him?
Yes.
Oh, you were looking for me? Yes, you're Captain Mac. That's right. Who is this? It's Mr. Dundas, my nephew. The husband of this lady? Look, mister, who are you and what do you want?
Well, that's very simple, but you must forgive my questioning. When one is engaged in my work, one can't be too careful.
Your work?
Intelligent.
What's that got to do with us?
I want to charter your boat for a trip.
Government work, huh?
Yes. The secret mission.
Oh. Well, where do you want to go?
To Ostend. Tonight.
Belgium? That's a fair haul. And there's the U-boat.
The fog will cover you.
What will you pay?
Well, the Crown provides handsomely in these cases. £100.
You're on. Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Would you mind showing us your credentials, mister?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind at all, my dear fellow, but the fact is, I'm not carrying any.
You're not, eh?
Well, this isn't what you call a casual visit.
Well, you're correct, Gunner. He's going where the Nazis are.
No credentials. And would you mind explaining why you're sniffing around a little fishing boat like this when you could cross on one of those big fast torpedo boats they got over at the yard?
I find this man insufferable, Captain. Now, what do you say? Time is going short.
Why don't you take the torpedo boat? Or the sweeper. They got sweepers there, you know.
Well, as a matter of fact, and you should be able to understand, there's a government boat. They might be seen by one of the enemy shore stations.
In this fog? You're a liar, mister.
And you're a very astute fellow.
A gun.
Yes, it's my ticket to Ostend, Captain.
Yeah, put that thing down.
Look out, Mac. He's serious.
Indeed I am. Now, in.
Do what he says, Mary.
Now you, Captain.
Make me.
Shall I?
Get in. This is crazy.
And you, untie the rope. Now, you, Miss, you sit up there.
Why, you don't stand a chance.
We'll see.
Free and clear.
Okay, Mac.
You're very reasonable. Captain?
What?
I'll sit up in the front with the lady.
Front? You don't know much about boats, do you?
No, and I shan't pretend to.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen, mister. The harbor entrance is closed up. They got the submarine nets in there.
But I happen to know that they're open until 8. And I gotta warn you. No tricks. Because I'm very good.
You are, eh? Dundas, he says he's very good.
Shut up. And let's go.
So you're a Nazi.
That's right.
You talk like an Englishman.
Oh, really?
A Nazi. Well, what are you, a spy?
You could say that.
What are you going back to the continent for? The war's not over.
What time do you think we'll reach the Belgian coast?
Round trip. You didn't answer my question.
What was that?
Why are you leaving England? Scared?
If you like. As a matter of fact, I'm returning because I have completed my mission.
And what was that?
A matter of a bomb.
Sabotage. That tanker. The one that went down off the coast. That your work?
Yes.
Oh, you stink. Filthy blood.
No, let him talk. I find him an amusing old gaffer.
30 men come because of you.
30? Dear me, there were 45 aboard.
It was 29, Mac.
29. 31 doesn't matter. This Nazi, this sneak in the dark with his mission completed. What's the time, Douglas?
2:45.
Ought to be passing Goodwin Sands.
Tide will be over them, though.
What time do they explode?
Both sides at once.
And that means we get a fast ride back, anyhow.
If he lets us come back.
Lousy Nazi. How do we know you won't kill us when we let you off?
You have my word.
Word.
Don't take on, dear.
I can't help it. I'm frightened.
Let her come back here with us.
No. See how tough he is. He shoots women.
If necessary.
I'd like to see you get that close to me.
Would you?
Yes. Look, Nazi. I'm walking towards you.
Mac, don't.
Point on. Yeah. Point that gun at me.
You're asking for it, you know.
Bloody Nazi.
Don't take another step, Captain.
Duck me!
He can't hear you, girl. Don't slow down.
I won't pick him up.
He's dead. He's very dead.
He was a good man. He deserves burial.
And burial he's got. Now put your throttle back up.
No.
Your wife next. Yeah. Now we continue our little voyage.
an hour.
I noticed you change course from time to time. Why is that?
Channel current. You ride with it, you make better time.
I see. And you'd like to be rid of my company as quickly as possible.
That's right.
But I'm glad you're being reasonable. The old man was a fool.
You think so, eh?
Well, of course. And so do you.
Why do you say that?
You've seen the war. You know how it is.
That's right. I know how it is.
Dundas, don't talk like that.
Why, what's wrong, Mary?
Don't talk with him. It's not right.
We find each other very interesting, Mary. Don't we?
Yes, indeed. Tell me, how did you lose your arm?
Hurry up. With the navigator.
And a very good one, I imagine. Did it happen in England?
No. Bremen.
Bremen? I see. You did a very thorough job in Bremen.
Yes.
Got to be complimented.
Thank you.
Dundas.
Relax, Mary, relax.
Oh, Dundas.
You must understand, Mary. May I call you Mary? You must understand that it's a very extraordinary thing for the soldiers of warring nations to get together for a chat like this.
Take a nap, Mary.
What?
Yes, why don't you? Here, you can pull this tarpaulin over here.
Not that. What? It's got blood on it. The tarpaulin.
Blood? But really, the old man was over there. Don't you see?
Not from him.
Oh?
We spent the day picking up after you.
Oh, I see. And you used the tarpaulin for the body?
Yes.
Well, then, of course, you mustn't use that.
Please, may I sit by my husband?
No, you may not.
Just be very quiet, Mary. Everything will be all right.
Of course, a lot depends on you, Dunn.
Why do you say that?
But don't you know what I'm talking about?
No.
That wrench you picked up about 15 minutes ago, it's right behind you on the lid.
What?
Thwart. It's right behind you on the thwart. Would you mind dropping it overboard like a good fellow?
That would be a foolish waste. Wartime, you know. Wrenches are hard to come by.
Yes, I'm sure. You might not slide it over here.
All right.
Slide it. Even if you could hit me accurately enough to disable me, the gun would go off and... Oh, you know.
I know. Here.
Thank you. Thank you, Dundas. Now, what are you fearing?
Why don't you come and look?
No, I don't think I'd better.
Why not?
Well, you may have another wrench there, or perhaps you'll try to take my gun. In which case, I'll have to kill you. Then where would I be? I might steer all the way back to Dover without knowing.
So?
And then I'd have to kill your wife so she couldn't inform. You see how it is.
How do you know I'm not tricking you?
I'm sure you're not. If we don't arrive by 3, I'm going to kill her. And then if you should continue to be stubborn, there are ways of forcing you.
You mean torture?
Ordinarily, it's very difficult to do alone, but in your case, one arm, that should be comparatively simple.
Let's not waste words on all that. I'm taking you where you want to go, and I'm counting on you to keep your word to allow us safe departure.
Of course.
I don't believe him, Dundas.
But why not?
Because you are what you are. Oh, Dundas, don't you see they'll torture you? He's lying, Dundas.
Please, Mary, please don't worry.
You have my word. My word of honor as a gentleman.
You see, Mary? We have nothing to worry about.
Yes, it must be wonderful to be out of the fighting.
Not bad.
I'll be glad when it's over.
Think it'll be over soon?
Oh, yes, quite soon. You heard about buzz bombs?
Yes.
But that's only the beginning. We're developing weapons 1,000 times as terrible. 10,000 times as effective.
Really?
Oh, your wife seems to have gone to sleep.
Well, I can't see very well in this dark.
Against my knees.
About your new weapons. You wouldn't tell me all this if it were your intention to allow a safe departure, now would you?
Well, I'm sure your agents know this by now.
I don't know.
How much longer until we reach the shore?
Not long now. I'm bringing her into a deserted beach a few miles outside of Ostend.
I see.
If you'll look ahead, you may see lights soon.
Straight? Ahead?
Yes.
Impossible. This fog is much too...
I saw it! I got the gun!
Give me that. Hand back. That's it. Now raise them good and high.
Oh, Jarvis, I thought he'd never drop his wrist. I waited and waited.
Good work, Mary. Take the wheel.
Yes, Jarvis.
Well, well.
Remarkable woman, your wife.
Yes, indeed.
Unfortunately, there's no cartridge in the chamber.
Pointed at your gut, why don't I pull the trigger and see if you're telling the truth?
Perhaps you'd better not.
I don't see why not. If it's empty.
No. It's loaded. You? I wonder if you're the type who can kill the man he's facing.
I don't know. I've never done it.
It's very difficult, you know. Just think of me as a fellow human being, flesh and blood like yourself. Think of the infinite genius that went into making this body of mine. The skin, muscles, arteries, veins, organs, vessels. And the blood. The blood. Murder is a very difficult thing when you're face to face with the murdered.
I know. I don't feel as though I could kill you right at this minute. Suppose I try. All I have to do is squeeze the trigger ever so little.
No, wait, no, don't.
Why not?
My life is worth a lot to me. More, believe it or not, than my pride, my honor, my love of Germany. Much more than that.
All right. You have a proposition?
Jarvis.
Still, Mary. I know what I'm doing.
Yes, you keep out of this.
What is your proposition?
Money. You're going to need money, aren't you? A man with one arm has a tough time of it in peacetime. Jobs are hard to get.
Go on.
But I have several accounts in London banks. Big accounts. I can write you a check. You can cash it tomorrow.
How much?
£1,000.
I can't hear you.
Jarvis, don't do this.
2,000. 3. 5, that's all the money I have in the world.
What about on you?
Yes, in the briefcase, £150. I'll get it out. But the briefcase...
I'll take care of that after you leave. Write the check for £5,000.
Oh, Jarvis, please don't do this thing.
Your wife doesn't understand these things.
No. For this, I let you off at the beach. Plus, I want to warn you against mentioning my name.
Oh, but of course, yes, I'll make it out in cash. Now, there's the check.
Thank you.
On. Aren't you going to shoot?
No. Bargain's a bargain. I'll follow through.
You are an honest man.
Deal's a deal.
Yes, that's right.
Better take the wheel.
Shall I take the gun, Jarvis?
No.
Please, Jarvis. Please let me hold it.
No, Mary.
But why in the name of heaven can't I? You can't steer and cover him at the same time. Not with your one hand.
If you take the gun, you'll shoot him, Mary. I know you.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would. That would be dishonest, Mary. We've made a deal, this man and I.
Yes, we have an honorable deal.
It's hard to steer and all. That does pose a problem. Mary, bring me that big wrench.
All right, Jarvis.
What are you going to do?
Since I can't handle the wheel and the gun, since Mary's not to be trusted, I'll keep the wrench for just in case. Solve the problem very simply.
You threw the gun in the sea.
And you, sir. You'll find a fishing line with lead on the end of it, right up there in the front locker. Huh? I'm going to slow down now. We're almost there. You'll do the sounding for me.
Yes, of course.
You deliberately threw the gun overboard. It's sailing out.
£5,000.
I have the line.
All right, throw it ahead of you. Then feel when it touches bottom. Then measure the depth by your spread arm.
Here you go.
Oh, Jarvis, I know the war is a shock to you, losing your arm and all, but don't do this. You'll regret it all the rest of your days.
Hit bottom.
How deep?
2, 3, 4. 5, that's all.
We're closing in on the coast. Swing again.
All right.
We'll hear the surf in a minute now. Will not be very strong. Low tide, you know.
2, 3, and a half.
All right. Get ready to jump.
Jump.
This boat hasn't wheels. You'll have to walk the last 10 feet in.
All right.
boat ready. Here we are. The minute you hear a grate, jump out and push the bow around. Right.
Thunder.
Quiet. Oh, here goes. Good night. Good night. Why, sucker. That ship. The bank is short of funds in the name I signed. Oh, really? Found the beach? Yes, I'm on it. Take a few steps. Why? It's stopped. There's water beyond. The bank is short of funds. That beach is short of sand. Where am I? You're on Goodwin sand. Dover is just 6 miles that way. Which way? I didn't say. And if you're thinking of swimming, I can tell you don't stand a chance. You'll see! It's low tide now, but wait a while. In a few hours, it'll be 10 feet over your head. Drowning's not pleasant, not safe. If you had your gun, you could shoot yourself. You could hang yourself with your belt, but there are no trees. So think about those men you drowned today. Think about them while you wait. I may be around to pick up your body soon. Maybe. Wait! Wait! Good night!
Escape has brought you the David Friedkin Morton Fine production of Flood on the Goodwin. The story is by David Devine and adapted for radio by James Poe. Featured in the cast were Betty Harford, Vic Perrin, Joseph Kearns, and Ben Wright. Also heard were Richard Peel and Alec Harford. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are in the jungles of Haiti, outside of Port-au-Prince, and a night heavy with tropics and small sounds of terror. Below you, a sheer drop of almost half a mile. In back of you, a man with a submachine gun, from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you the Friedkin Fine story, Night of the Gun. Stay tuned for Night Watch.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Here's a buckler. Permit me to refuse the money. Permit me to return to the matter of the Yankee merchandise. Just told you, poet. We sold out our stock of shirts, our ties, our socks. You are the man who have a catch and have paid the Caribbean from Miami? Yes, sir. We're the men who have a catch and have sailed. That's who we are, poet, and it is a simple matter then. Since you are these men, it is a simple matter. We will make our arrangements for the removal of the merchandise. Now look, Mr. Rene. My name. Permit me. That is my name. Thanks. It's this way, Rene. My understanding of things poetic is a little shaky these days. Mine, too. Yeah, it's true. Are you trying to be clever? Or perhaps it pleases you to tweak my passions? The merchandise. Permit me, but the merchandise. When shall we remove it from your boat? Mr. Rene, I simply have got to explain something to you. It's evident that you're We are not mistaken. You have the merchandise. We will say what... Rene, a fond farewell, Josh. You need to keep his head covered from the patient. But it is a matter of... No, you cannot.
The merchandise! You cannot refuse them of the merchandise!
Josh and I walked on. I looked over my shoulder and saw Renee's face become suddenly gray, suddenly old, and then a blur fading into the crowd that formed the narrow street. Episodes of the dream trip, cockfight followed by a native poet making calypso on a type of merchandise that didn't exist. Poet. Also dealer in intangibles, souvenir to be stored away. Anecdotes to regale the young ladies of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, on our return. When the dream money ran out and the place to come back to was New Kensington, PA. But now, unguided tour of Port-au-Prince, and a side street you never believed you'd walk.
No?
What are you thinking about? I was thinking I like it. I like what we're doing. I like where we are. Me too. Yes, sir, me too. It's all around here. It's wonderful. There's no regret, Josh. You mean we gave up a nice going habit after business and took off? That's what I mean. I talked you into it. No regret, huh? What do you mean? You talked me into it. This idea, this dream, if you will. I will. I remember to this very minute the night it germinated in my brain. We were sitting in the dorm of the good old University of Pittsburgh, stripped to the waist, it being a hot night prior to graduation and a bottle of beer in the hand. And you said, Haby, someday let's buy a boat, you said. See? You can see it was my idea. Sure it was, Josh. Then you said Haby. And I said Haby. Why? The Citadel. What about it? Guess I gotta see it, that's all. The Citadel of Henri Cousteau. Ever since I was a kid, I've been reading about it and wondering. We'll see it. When? That's something I gotta explain to you, kid. A couple of fellas like us, they hit a new country after an ocean voyage. You know, they need time to condition themselves, become acclimated, mingle with the group, meet some of my reading on the subject of young women of Haiti. Yeah. I have read that the young women of Haiti are sheltered and circumspect, and a formal introduction arranged by a mutual friend or acquaintance is the etiquette to be followed when a visiting gentleman has the wish. Show me where it says. Why, I just want to make sure you and me. Yeah. Visiting gentleman, that's what. Le Café des Pavillons du Tillon. Don't change the subject, right? What? Le Café des Pavillons du Tillon. Translation, Cafe of the Pavilions of the Small Moon. Oh, my. You feel okay? The heat, the excitement of the new sign over the cafe there. Come on, Josh, let's go get moonstruck. I want to. Oh, my. Me too. I'm glad I said what I said on graduating from the University of Pittsburgh. After me, kid. Bartender. Vous plaisir, monsieur? The pleasure presents no problem, bartender. First we want rum. Oui, monsieur. Hush, kid. Let there be hush. Leave the bottle, bartender. We made it, kid. We made the dream. A toast, huh? So, Hager, I love you. Dessalines, Toussaint, the Jewel Bay of Domaine, and to the genre mysteries and the delight of them, and to the jungle mysteries and the delight of them. Hey, you're kind of afraid, monsieur. Then may I propose still another toast? Be our guest. To the young lady who sits there, where, at the time in shadow, and before the carrying sunshine across her cheek. There, you see? I see. Oh, my. Where? I don't see her. Where, Rod? Show me, too. You could look upon her with near me? I could. I'm just a chap who could. Come then. She has whispered these to me. Bring them to me. Bring the voyager to me what her whisper. Well, where? Lady whispered, Josh. That's the call I've been waiting for. What? Bring the bottle, Josh. Oh, now I see it. Oh. I'll bring the bottle. After you, Mr. Pepe. After you, Pepe. The voyager for whom you have whispered.
Merci, Pepe.
Seat yourself, Miss Bibi, monsieur. Posing music.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm Josh Ford from New Kensington, PA, and this is my buddy, Ryan Dixon. He's from New Kensington, too. At present, we're retired haberdashers.
I am Bibi, and you have known to retire our meetings.
Pepe.
Howie?
You did a splendid job of greeting us.
You no longer have a need for me.
And we no longer have a need for you.
Then I shall make my small departure. There's no hard feelings, Pepe. It's just...
Till another tea. Yeah. Till then. You were lonesome first, Bibi, for both of us.
The moments when it comes slender. For the purpose of this time I've long for you.
Well, you don't even know us, baby. We live thousands of miles apart in different worlds. How could you...
Gosh.
You ever been in New Kensington, baby? University of Pittsburgh?
Gosh.
What the Mansell said.
And for your boat. And the front of your boat. When he's doing long.
Huh? You talk in puzzles, Miss Baby. I don't...
There's nothing like a broken.
Baby. A poet of your country said merchandise to us. We gave him a buck. It's a tired subject that isn't worth a nickel more.
Just pull it into the other.
We haven't sold a thing. We gave him $1. And I don't mind telling you, the budget we've got worked out for this trip is...
Then it is a matter of more money.
Could be. More money for what, baby?
Haggler. Bargainer.
We're not haggling, lady. All we got on our boat is a few supplies. Some canned fruit juices and cans of dried beef. You want
The
them?
matter enough more money for the merchandise you bought from London. We will pay. And there will be no delay.
Baby, we started out real good together, and suddenly, Josh, how do you tell a beautiful girl she's lousing everything?
Well, we have room at the end of the passageway upstairs. This is where I'm thinking. Please for more money. In 10 minutes. Be there. Hello.
She moved away from us, and she moved like some uncalling phrase of primitive melody. It took her maybe a half minute to cross the floor and vanish behind a glass-bead curtain that made small songs as she moved through it. That left maybe 9.5 minutes to toast the many things about Bibi that were worth drinking to. And then all that was left was to find out what it was all about.
Room at the end of the passageway upstairs, she said. You know what I think?
No, I don't.
I think she got us confused with somebody else. A couple of entirely different fellows. I said I heard you. Funny you got his name. Funny. First a native poet, big song and dance about some merchandise we haven't got. Then this Bibi. What merchandise we're supposed to have? Right.
Yeah.
That noise. It's already happened to us once today.
Now it's inside.
Hey, that came from down there. That's where it's coming. It's locked, Ryan.
Bibi!
Open it!
Open! All right, you and me, kid.
Yeah.
What lay on the floor wasn't worth looking at. Thin lines of blood crisscrossed Bibi's face and throat like some abstract design in horror. The new twist on death in the afternoon. Young lady, beautiful young lady, slashed to death by the spurs of a gamecock. The bird jumped to the windowsill and crowed to death once more. Across the night day, a pretty pink and blue sign smiled, "Welcome to Haiti." One thing about being in the haberdashery business in New Kensington, Pennsylvania, is that you've got the world ahead of you. Keep in mind that anything is possible when you finally get to Haiti and come across a beautiful woman slashed to death by a fighting bird bred to kill. Accept it and then run. Like Josh and I did, 3 blocks until a sign said Hotel of 7 Sisters, fans in every room. We paid for one night in advance. The sign wasn't spinning. There was a fan. This one you grasped in the hand, waved back and forth under the chin, creating refreshment, and letting the sound of the island drift in through the open window.
Right.
Huh?
We shouldn't have run away.
We're strangers in a strange country, baby. Who knows what we're supposed to do?
Anybody who dies is a concern.
I'll get it.
Meet me.
Hey, Josh. Look who, the poet. Come in. How'd you find us? I inquired of two Americans running in the noonday heat.
Why are you looking for us?
An explanation of the events at the Café de Pavillon de Tiluna. The killing of the girl Bibi was a mistake. She, permit me, what is the hour?
Almost 2:30.
A good. An excellent time. For a punctual compatriot of mine will arrive in a moment and deal the alternate.
You're doing it again, Rene. You're talking riddles.
Oh, forgive me. Like so. The merchandise you have brought, those about across the water there, the small way across the water. We wait for the ground, so they find a way to purchase human dignity.
Boy.
Huh?
Got the picture? This guy's a revolutionary. Hey, you're a real revolutionary, aren't you? You think we got guns for a revolution or something? You know what they're going to say in New Kensington? They're going to...
Josh. Renee, what about the girl? Why did that beautiful girl have to die like that? Bibi. Unfortunate. Like so. She won't kill because, goodness, the competitors whom we are expecting. Well, tell them it's like so. Somebody's got our boat mixed up with somebody else's, huh?
Hello, Renee.
Renee. He's dead. My intention. Quickly now, come. Now listen here. Or you will lie down beside this man, also dead. Quickly. Where are we going? Quickly. I asked you. Pistol barrels, lacerate so. Now, quickly. The front sight of his gun had cut my cheek, and there was nothing to do but put my hand to it. It prodded us outside. The man in goatee, U.S. Army surplus, and German Luger into a waiting cab. Unhappy driver looked at my cheek and then at the upholstery and then shrugged about the whole thing.
You better take us somewhere where you can get a cheek attended to,
said my friend Josh. Sure. Was the stir my friend Josh created. In a while, the bleeding stopped. We got out in a part of Haiti where it was no longer Port-au-Prince, where it became the apron of jungle around the city. A mansion of columns and glazed brick and flamingos looking coy behind royal palms. A butler in knee breeches told us we were late, that everybody was in the auditorium. A private theater, gentlemen, that you may watch if you wish. I'll tell Etienne you're here.
Etienne? Who's he?
You try to make a break from here, you'd be shot down before...
What kind of a name is that? Etienne?
In there.
Colin.
Voodoo. Native plantation type. Frankly, gentlemen, I wouldn't be that impressed, as you appear to be, I mean. They are all of them professional dancers, $20 each for the performance. So you. Etienne? Yes. Did you say to you? You're the man who can tell us. About Bibi, about René.
It's about guns. It's all a mistake.
I know. Somebody got our boat mixed up with... I know. Here.
Now.
What's the matter? Why are you looking so unhappy about it? How to tell you what I must. It'd be crazy if we tried to run, wouldn't we? Oh, yes. You'd be shut down like the port was. With more sadness. You are innocent, you see. René was not. Oh. An enemy, as also was the girl. They have their cars, we have ours.
And both of you after the gun.
We have them. They came on another boat, not yours. What am I supposed to say? Use them in good health?
It's just that looking like this, well, we don't know what...
You don't realize what's happening to you now, do you? A little bit. The sliced cheek I have. Yes, that's an indication. The reason, of course, I haven't offered you a physician or even iodine should be coming apparent now. Correct me. Josh and I know there's a thing about guns. About a revolution coming up close by. Also, about 2 murders.
And you can't let us go.
I don't mind telling you. I am a patriot. Murder is necessary, it seems. It goes with the word. We will have to take you far away. And you must be lost forever. Please try to understand. It was way too soon. And the door opened. Some men walked in. The man who had picked us up at the hotel and two others, also looking grave, also looking concerned. Tight-fitting dark suits, so tight you could almost tell the caliber of guns the boat was made. We went then on a boat ride. A boat called Bumba.
Look there. The Citadel.
Floating on a sea of tropic moons. The Citadel of Henri Christophe.
Ever since I was a kid, Ryan.
Ever since you were a kid. You admire our Citadel? Listen, Etienne. The Citadel is practically all we came to see in Haiti. We're getting a fine view now. Really, all of it we want. So why don't you say the word to turn this boat around?
It is saying the dead outside.
Now, look.
Yours will be privileged.
You will die a hero's death in the cause of human dignity.
Human dignity. The poet used the same word. On opposite sides, and both of you using the same slogan.
Regretful. Omele. Joanneau. Tahiti. The both of you now onto the ground. And this is where... Quickly. Oh, quickly. Friend, if you didn't have that gun, I have it. Straight ahead.
One thing I'd want before this is over.
It's to us through the Citadel.
Yeah.
Josh. We can't just let them shoot us down and leave us here to rot in a sinkhole like this.
You think we ought to make a break for it?
I would say so. Listen, just before we hit that clearing up ahead.
You there. You two. If you are discussing running away, you will be shot like pigs. Right. I still think we ought to try. Right now?
Right. Ankle deep in the stinking waters was the man who had seen before Pepe. A man in a bar called the Pavilion of the Small Moon. A man who had taken us to beat him.
You recognize me, I can tell.
A bandolier of bullets over his shoulder. The snout of his submachine gun sniffing a circle at our belt buckle. But Ken, the others who had brought us here, face deep in the mud. A brown marsh water washing their blood away slow. Very slow.
Eventually I knew they had to come here, where the guns are cached. See, those cases. The gun, the cause of everything.
Oh, yeah, we're glad to see you.
Truly?
I don't like the way you said that. What do you have in mind?
These whom I explained. They were going to kill you, correct?
They said it wasn't because we'd been nice to Baby and the poet, but because...
You were nice to them?
Well, sure.
My heart is filled with kindness for you both, for they were my friends.
I asked you something. What do you have in mind?
Surely you know. You must die. Word must not leak out of what happened here. This of the gun, this of the killing.
Right? Yeah. Listen, you.
Oui?
A favor.
Huh?
My friend here, all he wants to do is take a look at the Citadel.
He may. There it is. Look.
My friend here, he wants to take a look up close. This was his dream trip, the Citadel of Henri Christophe, his dream place.
I see. Oui.
Crazy monument built by a crazy king.
You see all those cannons pushed through those embrasures?
That's the step.
You see all those cannons, Ron?
What about them?
Not one ever fired. You know what else?
What else, Josh?
This was built on an exact line with the Great Pyramid of Egypt and the Great Pyramid built by the Mayas of Central America.
That way. Enough. Look down. Christophe used to force his slaves to jump from this spot. He enjoyed their screams. Will you scream?
I don't think so.
Good. Please do not believe I am vile, messieurs. You were unlucky enough to stumble on this small wall. Neither side can afford your staying alive. Pity.
Some pity.
Now, alive or dead for me bullet. Jump.
Now, hold it a second. One more word with my friend. Josh, what do you want? All of it. Your fault. Mine? Leaving the business, the boat, Haiti, all of it. How can you talk like that? And a citadel. What is it? Brick and mortar. Hope you get a nice view of the East Wing on the way down. You know what you are? What? Child, a bird brain of a child. You're not going to talk to me like that. Square stud kicking knucklehead. Why, you miserable... You got to... Mr. American, fine before you die. Hey, what's out there? Why, grab him, Right? Right? Yeah, I'm okay. You? Okay. What about him? You tie him up, leave him, I don't know, something. All right. What? You see that over there? What over there? That flag. Well, what about it? That's Armand Crystal's tomb. He was buried there. Everybody was killed. Right over there. Something, isn't it? Really something. Boy.
Escape has brought you Night of the Guns, a story written and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine. Featured in the cast were Herb Ellis, Byron Kane, Jack Tushin, and Jay Novello. Also heard were Lillian Baeff, Chet Mencken, John Daner, and Paula Pascal. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leif Stevens. Next week.
You are adrift in a native canoe somewhere off the Solomon Islands. Ahead of you are the unknown terrors of native savagery. And closing in on you is the white man whose gunboat will smash you to the bottom of the sea.
So listen next week when Escape brings you John Russell's story, The Price of the Head.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are adrift in a native canoe somewhere off the Solomon Islands. Ahead of you lie the unknown terrors of native savagery. And closing in on you is a white man whose gunboat will smash you to the bottom of the sea.
Listen now as Escape brings you John Russell's story, The Price of the Head.
The possessions of Mr. Christopher Pellet were these: a bad name in the island, a suit of ducks in which he lived and slept, a continuous thirst for liquor, and a set of fine red whiskers. And strangely enough, he had a friend, Karaki. Now no man can gain friendship except by virtue of some decent quality attaching to him, and Pellet had none. How then explain the loving devotion lavished upon that drunken brute by the gentle native? This was the mystery at Fuputi. But mystery or no, Pellet himself became unendurable to the decent, peaceable folk of the town.
Next shot's gonna kill you, Pellet. So help me, I'd put a bullet in your drunken brains.
Get out.
All right, I'm going. In the Silver Isles there lived a wench whose eyes were blue and nose was... Hey, Mummery! You missed the fun, Mummery. Mummery.
Take your hands off me, Mr. Pellet. You're an offense, sir.
You're an offense, sir. Karaki! Where is that boy?
One day Mr. Howe may be obliged to shoot you.
Hey, shoot me, that'd be murder. Murder's fine talk for company agent, Mr. Mummery. Where's that boy? Karaki! Come here, Karaki!
Karaki, come quick. Here's shot. You all right? No hit pellet anywhere?
No, I'm fine, Karaki, fine. Go fetch one bottle of rum. You come along home, huh?
Me go along, Mr. Howe. Pay for trouble. Catch a bottle. Wait here. Me not be much long. You wait.
Fine fellow, that Karaki, eh, Mummery? Only friend I got in this filthy island.
May I suggest, Mr. Pellet, that perhaps if you behave...
Suggest nothing. I got a headache. You tell Karaki I've gone to the beach, huh? In the Silver Isles there lived a wench whose eyes were blue.
All right, Karaki. He'll pay for this mess, but next time he blows up, I'll put a bullet in his leg.
No, Mr. Howe. No shoot. Karaki all time. Pay good.
Well, Mr. Mummery. Beat it, Karaki.
I'd like a chat with you, Mr. Howe.
Right with you, sir. Boy, Jack, give Karaki a bottle of rum and get this mess cleaned up.
Yes, sir, Mr. Howe.
Come into the office, Mr. Mummery. We're more cozy there. That pellet ought to be in jail. The man's a mad beast.
He is, and particularly so on your rum, Mr. Howe.
Oh, come now, Mr. Mummery. You can't lay Pellet's sins on my doorstep. Nothing I can do, as long as he pays his bills.
Well, I'm a fair man, Mr. Howe, and I won't order you to stop selling Pellet your rum if there's any other way to handle the matter.
Well, to be honest with you, sir, I do make a small profit on Karaki's pearls, what he pays me with. Though nothing enormous, mind you. Still, I'd do without it not to have Pellet about. When I walk down the street, I have a feeling the natives are laughing at me just because I'm a white man, too.
By heavens, it's true. And something must be done at once.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Howe, I'll try talking to him like a gentleman, but I'll be firm with you. Now, if you'll send Moy Jack with a message that I'd like to have him for tea tomorrow...
Tea? You don't mind my saying so, Mr. Mummery, tea isn't...
All right, then. Tell him there'll be whiskey.
That'll do it, sir. And good luck with him.
Thank you, Mr. Howe. Tagara? Tagara, whiskey for Mr. Pellet, girl.
It's been years since my throat's been wet by good Scotch whiskey, Mummery.
Yes, I'm sure.
You live well here. Fine house, good liquor, servants.
I work hard, Mr. Pellet, and I stay sober.
Should have been a preacher, Mummery. You missed your line in Copra.
Well, if you please, Mr. Pellet, we are not discussing my career.
No, well, go on, Mummery. As long as I'm drinking your whiskey, I'll listen to your chatter. Girl?
You make it difficult, Mr. Pellet.
I mean to.
Yes, I suppose you do.
I didn't expect you to invite me here out of friendliness, Mummery.
Well, you could have friends, Mr. Pellet, if you lived decently.
I live the way I want, and I've got a friend.
A savage.
It's odd. Never thought of Karaki as a savage. I suppose he is.
Yes, civilization lies lightly on these people, Mr. Pellet. At heart, Karaki is nothing but a heathen from Bougainville.
Bougainville. Yeah, you know Karaki likes it there. He's always talking about it. Well, you most probably talk about your home.
But there is a vast difference, I'm sure.
Karaki's quite a serious little man. You just haven't got to know him, that's all.
Well, we'd scarcely find much in common, I fear. Good heavens, Mr. Pellet, surely you haven't sunk so low as to have forgotten everything we stand for out here?
I've no use for any man, except Karaki. He's the only friend I ever have.
But how do you know what is going on in that head of his? How can you tell?
I don't have to. So far, he's treated me right, that's enough.
But you have no respect for the position the rest of us here must maintain. You disgrace us in the eyes of every native on this island.
Oh, I'm impressed. Didn't know I was that important a figure, Mummy. Tagara, whatever your name is.
You're beyond reasoning with Mr. Pellet.
You can go on trying, Mummy, as long as the whiskey holds, huh?
Have you no pride, man?
I cleaned out a bar in Sydney once, alone, against 9 sailors.
No, that's not exactly.
I engineered a mutiny aboard an Arab dhow in the Gulf of Oman some years back. I sold a cargo at Bahrain for a pretty figure, Mummy, pretty figure.
Well, that's certainly compounding a crime.
Well, that cargo was illegal in the first place, Mummy. Slaves it was. Little boys and girls from India.
Mr. Pellet, I must ask you once and for
The
all.
bottle's almost finished, Mummy. What do you want?
Will you take a job if I offer you one?
A job? Mummy, I stopped working 9 years ago. I'm against working.
All right. Then I must ask you to leave this island on the next boat.
I like it here, Mummy, and I'm staying here.
Well, I can't make you go, I suppose.
You suppose right.
But I do have certain powers. The company controls the sale of liquor here, Mr. Pellet, and if I order that none be given you...
You'd do that?
I would.
Unless I take a job of leaves, huh?
Exactly.
Well, I'm not working, I'm not leaving, Mummy.
Then you won't be boozing either, Mr. Pellet.
Give me the rest of that bottle, girl. I've earned it.
Good day, Mr. Pellet.
That night, the order went out to serve Pellet no more rum. However, the alcohol he had taken on at the agent's house saw him through until noon the next day. He awoke then with a terrible thirst, and by evening he was raging. You cannot cut off alcohol from a man who has been continuously drunk for 9 years without results more or less violent. Karaki, with the patience of a saint, bore the brunt of it all. Karaki, the little heathen from Bougainville, a place where some people were smoked and others eaten. It took 2 days of awful torture to break Pellet's spirit, and on the morning of the 3rd, the man was shattered.
Feel much better today, no?
No, Karaki, it gets worse.
Karaki pulled boss from ocean last night. You want him fight big fella shark. Drink blood, you say?
It was out of my head, clean out of my head.
2-3 weeks, you'll be fine once more, my word.
I can't wait 2-3 weeks. I gotta have a drink, Karaki. I'll die if I don't get a drink.
Wait a few days. All fine.
You don't understand, Karaki. I can't make it. Go tell Mummy I can't make it. Tell him I'll leave on the next ship.
No, can't leave. We plenty much all the time. Good friend, Karaki, and tell her.
I know, but I'm no good dead, Karaki. You go tell him now.
No, can't leave. Wait.
You tell him or I'll tell him, Karaki, but I'll have a bottle if I have to kill to get it.
Not now. Slip a long couple hour. Then go, maybe.
No, now. I'd rather go myself.
No, please.
Karaki, let go of me. Go out. Smash. I'll have my rum and no man will stop me.
No, can't leave. Not now.
Mr. Pellet, please. Come in, man, come in.
Mummy, I need a drink.
No, Mr. Pellet, not a drop. Here or anywhere else in Fukushima.
Give me a drink, man. I'll get on your blasted ship.
Oh. Well, then you agree to leave?
Yeah.
And on the next ship?
Yes, on the next ship.
You can have your rum. Yeah. But you'll be on that ship when she sails.
I'll be on it. Give me a drink, man, quick.
So you can get a drink at Mr. Howe's. I'll send a message to him.
Mummy, with all I can do to get this far, I need a drink now.
All right, Mr. Pellet, but just one. I will not have you disgracing me in my own house. Yeah? Take it.
One more.
No.
Give me that bottle. Now, Mummy, if you come to Michael Howe's with me, I'll buy you a drink.
No, thank you, Mr. Pellet. I'd rather not be seen in your company.
Write a note to Howe. Tell him to sell me rum. I'll take it with me.
Do you have to get drunk now, Mr. Pellet?
Now. You back out of this and I'll kill you, Mummy. Now.
All right, Mr. Pellet. But it will be a happy day for all of us when you're aboard that ship.
I'll find me another island, Mummy. And you'll be transferred there one day, eh?
God forbid. I'll write you your note, and I want to see no more of you till the day you leave.
That's good enough for me. You're dull company, Mummy.
At least I'm a gentleman, Mr. Pellet. And I have enough respect for myself not to become a walking insult to me and my race.
The note, Mummy, the note. You can come to Howe's and preach to me. I don't mind it there. Hurry, man. Hurry.
listening to The Price of the Head, tonight's presentation of Escape. Sometimes it's fun to escape with an adventure story, as you're doing now. At other times, it's fun to relax with music. Tomorrow on CBS Radio, you can enjoy the second in our series of Helsinki's festivals. The program will open with the Sibelius Symphony No. 5 in E-flat major and continue with 4 more of his most impressive works. Enjoy easy listening on World Music Festivals tomorrow over most of these stations. And now back to Escape and the second act of The Price of the Head.
In the days that followed, Pellet became a sodden lump of flesh preserved in alcohol. He did not smile, nor dance, nor exhibit any of the amiable eccentricities that sometimes recommend the drunken to a certain toleration. He was a brute, and he behaved like a brute. But all the time, waiting for the day the ship would arrive, Karaki remained true, and showered more devotion than ever upon his friend. He spent his evenings outside Michael Howe's bar, patiently waiting for Pellet to get drunk enough to take along home. Night after night, Karaki waited, while the white man stood roaring inside.
Boy, Jack, bring me another bottle.
Please, Mr. Pellet, close up now. You plenty too much drunk already.
Well, don't tell me when to drink. I'll go get that bottle. Jump.
All right, Mr. Pellet, all right. I get bottle. I fix you bottle.
And hurry it up, you bald clown. Who told you to open it?
Next time I'll open the bottle. If you want a broken head, Moy Jack. Where's Howe?
Mr. Howe gone home. Plenty good rum, yes, Mr. Pellet?
It stinks.
So do you. So does everyone on this bloody island.
No like rum?
Here's what I think of your rum.
Now come here, Moy Jack. Because I'm going to crack your head. I'm going to crack your head.
Karaki! Karaki! Take him along home now, Karaki.
A few minutes later, the wiry little Karaki had the white man across his shoulder and bore him down the beach to the miserable shelter of pandanus leaves they called home. There he eased Pellet to a mat, bathed him with cool water, and carefully brushed the dirt from his bright red hair and whiskers. Then he sat by with a fan and kept the mosquitoes from the drunkard's bloated face. He sat there all night while Pellet slept. It was midday before Pellet awoke and groaned his way out of a painful fog of alcohol.
Rum, Karaki, rum.
Coconut more better. Here. Drink milk. Feel fine soon.
You'll find soon I've had some rum, Karaki. Haven't you got a bottle around here somewhere?
No rum. You drink long too much rum last night. Too much Moy Jack rum.
Huh? What do you mean, too much Moy Jack rum?
Moy Jack put white powder in bottle. Make me sleep.
White powder? So that's it. What a little rat.
Moy Jack him all the time laugh.
Okay, well, slow down.
Be careful. Moy Jack him all the time carry knife. Cut face all up.
Little wax man. I'll murder him. Come on, Karaki.
You watch out for knife. And Moy Jack him plenty fast.
I'll kill him.
Watch him fella close. Fella no get face.
I'll handle him, Karaki. Don't you worry.
Half in anger and half in anticipation of the pleasure of beating a man, Pellet staggered down the beach towards Howe's bar. It was the noon hour of repose, and all Fufuti was asleep. Pellet reached the bar and found Moy Jack dozing peacefully among the bottles. He woke him with a savage kick.
Get up, you dirty scum! Get up so I can bust holes in you.
No, hurt me, Mr. Pellet. Let go!
Leave me a mercy, will you? Not again, you won't.
Now, I cut you. Cut you, Mr. Pellet.
Would you now? Well, I'll just fix me a knife, too. Come on, boy. I want to twist this bottle around in your face. I'll learn you to fight with a red-headed man. I'll learn you. He's dead. I killed him. I killed him, like I said, Karachi.
Yes. Dead. Plenty trouble now. Police?
Yeah. Come on, let's get out of here. Where we go, Karachi? We gotta hide somewhere.
You go along house on beach. Wait there. Me fix boat. Leave for footy quick.
What boat? You got no boat.
Me find a boat. Me hide fella friend, Pellet.
All right. I trust you, but hurry, man. Hurry.
Pellet waited in terror in the shack on the beach while Karaki broke into the boat sheds and with an axe smashed the bottoms out of the 3 craft sheltered there. Then he opened the trade room and quickly gathered together a bundle of supplies, including a rifle and a box of cartridges. Next he carried everything out onto the beach and loaded it into a stout outrigger canoe that belonged to Mr. Mummery. Finally, he fetched Pellet from the shack, and together they hurriedly launched the canoe in the lagoon. Karaki rigged the big knot sail and then paddled out into the breeze just beyond the harbor entrance.
We made it, Karaki. We're safe.
Yes.
Hey, look, where are we headed for anyway? What island we go, Karaki?
Bougainville.
You crazy? That's 800 miles from here.
All the same, we go along my home.
800 miles?
We go. All fine. Always one bring you along my home.
All right, Karaki. I don't know why you're doing it for me, but I'll see you through.
It was not the beginning of a very pleasant voyage for Mr. Christopher Pellet. The fear of being captured and hanged was great enough, but added to it were the horrors brought on once more by the lack of alcohol. The first night he was too seasick to care, but by morning he was raving.
Rum. Give me rum, you blasted heathen.
No got him rum.
You bloody fool, why did you pack in some rum?
Need water. No need rum. Got plenty water.
Curse you, Karaki, don't drink water.
Better you drink water.
Well, I won't. Turn back. I'll take hanging to this. Turn back, I tell you.
Soon catch him. One big fella wind. Blow straight to Bougainville.
No. How could you find Bougainville anyway? No. We're going back, I tell you.
Karaki easily tied the weakened white man hand and foot and continued to sail off into the open sea. Now and then he threw a dipperful of seawater over the white man and occasionally fed him with coconut milk. Karaki was an excellent nurse. He even combed Pellet's red hair and whiskers twice every day. By the time they reached the Santa Cruz region, Pellet's condition had improved and Karaki released him. They were now in an area peppered with tiny islets, and Karaki decided to land on the lee of one in order to replenish their water supplies. He had dropped sail and was paddling slowly into the beach when suddenly, from out of nowhere, a cutter carrying 2 white men appeared behind them.
Ahoy! Leave through! No catching Karaki and Pellet! You go away! Leave through!
Put the gun down, Karaki. We're in enough trouble now.
Okay, I shoot!
Oh.
For some foolish reason, the 2 white men did not believe a native would dare resist them, and for their mistake, they were both killed. Karaki, however, wasted no time sailing back into the open sea without his precious water, and 29 days later, he was doling out the few remaining drops to Pellet, taking none for himself. His every gesture was one of sacrifice, that his white companion might survive. Finally, on the 36th day, they sighted Choiseul, and by noon they came ashore. There they stayed for a week, fattening themselves on the unlimited supply of coconut.
So you think Bougainville is just under the horizon, eh, Karaki?
Yes.
Mighty good thing, too. You know, this is the limit of British authority, my boy. Big fella British master stop him here. No can go that side, eh?
Yes. No can punish Karaki for anything he do Bougainville side. My word. No catch pellet. Never.
What makes you so sure of that?
Me savvy.
Well, all right, old chap. You got me this far. I trust you. You know, you're quite a fella, Karaki.
Yes.
Sure don't talk much, no? My heaven, maybe Mummery was right. I'd sure like to know what goes on under that topknot of yours, my boy. I'd like to tell you how grateful I am. Wish I could show you. Listen, Karaki, me one big fella friend, long you, savvy? You one big fella friend, long me, savvy? Me two big fella friend always. What?
Yes, my word.
Oh, Karaki, you kill me.
And thus did Christopher Pellet express his gratitude to the quiet savage who had with rarest self-sacrifice saved his life again and again. And now that he was thoroughly sober, he could understand it no more than Mummery had back in Fufuti. 2 days later, under a beautiful dawn, they sailed into Bougainville, into a bay that was crystal blue, and right up onto a dazzling white beach. Pellet was the first ashore, and he ran up to a rocky point to see all the charm of the place for himself. Karaki, in his simple and efficient way, proceeded about his own affairs. He landed what was left of the supplies stolen at Fufuti. A few minutes after, Pellet heard a gentle footstep behind him, and turned to find Karaki standing there with the rifle at his hip and the axe in his hand.
Me like.
Me like, too. Great place you've got here, Karaki.
Me like him head.
Huh? What? Oh, me like him you too, Karaki. We big fella friend, right?
Me like him too much. One fella belong along you.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Red hair. Fine red whiskers. Big prize here. Smoke him head. Make him Karaki, big man on island.
You mean you got my head?
Fine head. Very fine head. Cut him off now.
That was the way of it. That was all the mystery. In Karaki's country, a white man's head, well smoked, was indeed a prize. But that of Mr. Christopher Pellet, with his precious red whiskers, was a thing to be desired above the love of women. And the simple, patient, enduring Karaki had served hard to win it. And did it really matter to Pellet how or why he died, since his own race would have hanged him for murder anyway?
Escape, produced and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Prine, has brought you The Price of the Head, a story by John Russell and adapted for radio by John Meston. Featured in the cast were Mary Jane Croft, Hans Conried, Ben Wright, and Jack Crucian. Also heard were Clayton Post and Herb Butterfield. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
There's a fortune in the cabin of an airplane crashed on an island somewhere in the Caribbean. And only you know where it is. By your side, sailing the treacherous channels, a smiling killer with a knife, from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you E. Jack Newman's story, The Coward. music on Melody Ranch tomorrow on CBS Radio when the popular galloping cowboy with the golden voice returns. He's Gene Autry, as singing-est saddled man as ever rode the range. Meet Gene Autry at the Old Corral when he returns to Melody Ranch tomorrow on most of these same stations. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. Where there's Gunsmoke, there's Western Adventure, Monday nights on the CBS Radio Network.